Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Carrie, and here at Caring with Carrie we talk all things kids. I happen to be 6 weeks pregnant right now, so we are doing a talk on that on Tuesdays. On Saturdays I try to upload activity ideas or anything kid related really. So I finally got my blood test results from my first and second prenatal appointments. I got them at the same time instead of getting them separately, even though they were several days apart. But I did want to kind of go over those real quick so you know what to expect in your first prenatal appointment. Mine might have been a little different than yours will be because I am doing mine through a midwife center, which is like combined with a doctor at the same time. My first prenatal appointment, I actually just got my HCG and progesterone checked, which is what I asked for as far as the progesterone goes. I was nervous about that because I know that usually when you have a candida overgrowth, it makes your hormones off balance, but like especially your estrogen, it heightens it, and if you have higher estrogen, it lowers your progesterone. So on the results for that, which I will try to pop some stuff up on the screen so you can see what I'm looking at. That way maybe like this is what yours look like. I'm not sure. It said my HCG was high. Now on this day, I think I was 19 days past ovulation. So that is actually considered high. In fact, it could possibly be twins. I'm not saying it's twins because everybody's HCG is different, and it's really more about like how much you jump in levels versus like what your numbers are. But some of the charts that I'm seeing, that would put me in the twin category. So yeah, it says it's high at 2,549. That's my level of HCG. For my progesterone, it has 18.6, which is normal. It says for the first trimester, progesterone should be between 11.4 and 41. So I'm assuming that's fairly normal. I'm also, as I'm looking at it, it looks like it climbs throughout the pregnancy. So we'll see. I'll just like keep an eye on that. But I'm really relieved to know that it's normal because progesterone is the leading cause of miscarriage, and so I wanted to get these test results back a lot quicker just knowing that. But anyways, so we're gonna go to where I went in for my second appointment. So on the 19 days past ovulation, I went in on a Thursday, and then they had me come back the very next Monday, so I would have been 22 days past ovulation is when I took the second one. And the second blood test, she took like 8 tubes of my blood for this. So everything came back normal except for my vitamin D, which is funny because I'm very much an outdoorsy person. I like to be outdoors as much as possible, but with it kind of being a rough winter, we have not been outside in the sun a whole lot. She told me go ahead and take vitamin D, and she said with K3, but I think she meant K2 because that's all I can find is vitamin D3 with K2. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna get. I'll put a picture up here of what I ordered on Amazon in case your doctor says you're low in vitamin D. Apparently taking vitamin K with the vitamin D helps it to absorb better and not like overrun your systems or whatever. Then it says my HCG for this test was 14,502. So it jumped from 2,000 to 14,000 in a span of 3 days. So from Thursday to Monday, literally, it jumped up from 2,500 to 14,500. Now your HCG is supposed to double like every 48 to 72 hours. So you would think at 3 days, I'd be like maybe at 5,000. So to be at 14,500, it just makes me wonder if that's also a possible indicator of more than one baby. I don't know. I will just plug in here that I've had some premonitions, but I'm not going to go over what they are yet because I'm kind of worried that I'm just like paranoid about it or whatever. So we're not going to go see an ultrasound until April 29th. That is when I'm just literally a day over being 13 weeks, and that's when we feel safest going to get an ultrasound. So we're gonna do that, and that's like 45 days from now, which sounds like a long time, but anyways, I'll keep you guys updated on that. It says my TSH is 2.4, which I believe is really good. Yeah, pretty much everything else was in the normal range for all the other things they tested. But if you're curious, some of the things that they test you for your rubella antibodies, your platelet count, hemoglobin, lymphs, monocytes. There's like a lot of just abbreviations, so honestly I don't know what most of these are. I put out a question on my Instagram, which if you're not following me there, it's Caring with Carrie. I'll put it right here. It's the same name as on here. I put out questions in my stories a lot as like polls, and I only had one person respond for this particular poll, but that's okay. That one person matters, so it's okay. But in case you guys didn't know that I did that over on Instagram, follow me over there because I want to do something similar to this in second trimester. So for the first trimester, I will say I've talked a little bit about how I have cravings, and recently I've come to realize that when you have a craving, if you don't like fulfill that craving right away, more than likely you are going to lose that craving. So last week I was craving BLTs, and I don't like bacon, so the only time I've ever really liked bacon is on BLTs, but really for me to be craving BLTs is, kind of weird. And then I was craving a salad, so I put stuff in this week's order for that, and I'm like, I'm not really feeling that anymore, but I'm for sure obviously gonna eat it, and it'll probably be good, but I just am not craving it anymore. So actually, it's funny, I sent a gif today to somebody of a girl eating a spaghetti, and I was like, yep, now I'm craving spaghetti. And then they were like, yeah, we're actually making spaghetti tonight for dinner. And then it was a group chat, so then like another family was like, yeah, we're actually making spaghetti too. And I was like, you know what, I have spaghetti in my Walmart order, so we're all gonna have spaghetti. And we're like, pictures of where it didn't happen. So if I take any pictures of my spaghetti, my gluten-free spaghetti tonight, I will put them in this video. I feel like not as tired today. I took like a pretty decent nap yesterday and went to bed at a decent time, so I'm like kind of okay. My nausea, however, has been like off and on. Right before I started this video, I was like, yeah, I'm like not feeling great. But I will say the biggest thing that has helped me with nausea is, first of all, downing water. I fill this thing up now, like, I don't know, 6 to 8 times a day at least. And I filled this up like 20 minutes ago. So your body is naturally going to crave water in the first trimester especially, but definitely throughout your whole pregnancy. So I would suggest having something that's like big and tall like this. I'm not picky about my water. Water is water, and I don't have to have it like iced or anything, so this works well, but it does keep things relatively cool. Okay, so another thing that does help me with the nausea is something salty, but like little, because if you're nauseous and you start thinking to yourself like, oh, I'm gonna cook up that chicken and veggies I've got in the fridge, you're like gonna want to feel like you want to throw up, like I do anyways. I'm like, yeah, no, no. So I just have to keep it small, and that's what they say is do several small meals throughout the day, but it's hard to get in like the right nutrients that way. So sometimes I do have to make myself feel like, just eat the veggies, and if you get sick, you get sick, but at least eat something that is nutritious and not just crackers all day. In my poll on Instagram, I basically asked, what are some tips that you have for somebody who's going through the first trimester, and what's some advice that you have? What are some things maybe that you didn't think about or know about before getting pregnant, all that. If you do not know this, I try to be as much zero waste as possible. So when you get pregnant, And I'm glad it was not just me, because I legit thought it was maybe just me. And I talked about this in my last video. You have a lot of discharge, okay? And you're gonna need like a lot of panty liners. Like, I have to switch mine out probably 5 or 6 times a day. And I was trying to be good. Your girl was trying to be good and use reusable liners, like the cloth ones. Yeah, it made it worse because it didn't keep it as dry. So, if you find out you're pregnant, go ahead and stock up on your panty liners, girl. You're gonna need them. You're gonna need them, just trust me. Okay, the sore boob thing is real. Whenever I would get this pain during that time of the month, I thought it was bad. Yeah, it's like not gone away yet. I felt like, okay, you know, my progesterone is supposed to rise slowly but surely throughout the pregnancy. My HCG is supposed to be rising and then it plateaus out 10-11 weeks. So I was thinking, you know, maybe my soreness up here was gonna, you know, die down. And it definitely has not. So I do not like having to wear a bra of any kind, but I have to. Because when you get pregnant, your boobs also like double and triple in size, so you definitely cannot go without one. At least I can't. I'm not prepared. So I say that, but I do actually have like nursing bras that I bought before I ever got pregnant because they're so comfortable. They don't have wires in them. They're just so comfortable, and I'm like prepared in that way, but I guess I wasn't prepared for the size going up. Anyways, yeah. You're probably going to want to invest in a few good bras, and not that they have to be nursing bras, but nursing bras just will make life easier if you plan to breastfeed. Another problem during pregnancy is constipation, because essentially the hormones like slow down all like your intestines and everything. So I actually take a prebiotic / probiotic. And the problem with that is my body's like, I'm gonna slow everything down and she's constipated. But like my probiotic is like, nah bro, like let's go, like move things along, come on. So it's like my body is trying to do something and then there's this other thing like, nope. I kind of have constipation and the opposite. Might be TMI, but I'm just letting you know. Hemorrhoids? I'm just gonna say, how do you know you have those? Like I think I do, but your girl ain't gonna be looking like, I ain't gonna look and see, and I ain't gonna touch. How do you know you have those? So apparently another common pregnancy thing, and I'm just gonna say, based on symptoms, I believe I have them. It's hard to be sitting right now. I'm just gonna say that. Alright, moving on, but something to prepare for. Prepare yourself for if you are, you know, in your first trimester. Anyways, that's pretty much it for today's video. If you have any questions about first trimester up until this point, I know I am still very new into my first trimester, again, only at week 6. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop them below, and as I go, I'll keep you guys updated. Again, feel free to hit up my Instagram. Not only do I put up a whole bunch of stories on there daily, but I often share a lot of giveaways that are for mamas. So if you're a mom to be, or you know somebody who's a mom, I put a lot of giveaways on my Instagram stories that I just find from other mamas doing. So get in on those. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you guys next video.